back to the Avalaunch Gameplay channel. This is Zach, also known as Trading Aloha on Twitter. Today we're going to take a look at part 4 of our 4-part series on Battle for Giostone. And today specifically, I wanted to talk about the future potential with Battle for Giostone and how their focus on partnering with esports and streamers on platforms like Twitch and YouTube are a win for both Battle for Giostone and Web3 gaming as a whole. And really, if you look over, the top games in the esports space that have produced the most players and have given away the most prize money at all these tournaments, you're going to notice that of all time, there's 5 games listed of the top 5. 3 of them are MOBAs. So Battle for Giostone already has a leg up in being in the best category that people are interested to watch and play and earn all at the same time. So of course we've got Dota 2 at number 1 with just over $290 million rewarded over about 1,687 tournaments. And the global accounting firm PwC earlier this year, who is released their global entertainment and media outlook for 2021 to 2025, basically looking across the 5-year projections across how advertisers are spending their dollars across multiple segments and areas within the space, and they saw the virtual reality and gaming space has the most significant growth. They're expecting a 30% growth in that 5-year time span. So this sets up well for the perfect timing for Web3 games to move into the esports and streaming arena, where there has been a huge increase over the past couple of years. So I think it's a huge win for not only for Battle for Giostone, but I think it's an awesome way to kind of launch their platform, but also to kind of get the Web3 gaming image out there for streamers and influencers and tournament players, to get involved with early. And help kind of shape the space of like how that's going to look going into the future. And with Battle for Giostone being such a great game and fun to play, and the team is fully committed to developing it out and making sure that it fits exactly what they want it to do, and members of the team being experienced esports players like Theban, who's been very heavily involved with Dota 2. He knows kind of the ins and outs of like the esports arena and the whole ecosystem there. So having those members on the team is just going to help it build those relationships, not only with the tournament creators and coordinators, but also reach out to those YouTube streamers and Twitch streamers early on to kind of form those foundational pieces that'll help drive the game forward into the next level. And so how is Battle for Giostone going to structure these? So I mean, they've run a pre-alpha tournament earlier where they had 2 guilds take part in a competition that was fun to watch and was great to kind of see how the game is developing out and kind of see the flow of the game and how it works. And basically you'll be bracketed just like any other tournament. You've got your 5 players on your team. Initially I'm sure everyone's going to start out, unless you've got a pretty reputable standing within the space, you're probably going to start out as a singleton, probably playing passively, having a little fun. You might really fall in love with the game and kind of want to test the waters. You find 4 other people that feel the same way, throw a team together, kind of work your characters and heroes to the extent that you want them to be, to make sure they all match up well, and then there'll be opportunities for you to enter these esports tournaments, depending on time and location. You can sign up and play through. So I think MOBAs are one of those ones that really draws the viewership. There's a lot of other games out there, like the FPS ones where you can watch one person go, like play Call of Duty, but having to watch a team of 5 coordinate themselves against not only another team of 5 but also other mobs and creeps, and really the strategy that comes down to it, I think is really entertaining. It just lends well to good showmanship and just excitement. Some of these games you can look away. There's you see people camping, or in FPS games or card games where it kind of slowly plays out. But with 5-on-5 constant action, you got to be focused and paying attention pretty much the entire game. So there's a lot of interaction there, and I think it lends well to not only fun for the players involved, but also fun for the audience watching, either in person at the event or on Twitch or YouTube or TikTok or whatever the platform it's being aired on is. So I think that's just a fantastic way to continue to get involved, and the advertising and marketing and sponsorship dollars that comes with setting up all these tournaments, is going to be funneled back into the Battle for Giostone kind of economy, and then that in turn is given back to the players through rewards, as well as the players that are staking that we talked about in the previous 2 videos, to kind of create that income loop to the entire ecosystem to make sure it's sustainable, as well as getting fresh capital put back into the treasury and rewards pool, to get pushed back out to the players and the investors. And I think one of the key things to highlight it, and I think they did a really good job, if you go to the battleforgeostone.com/esports page, and they kind of list the leagues, it's going to be coming soon, so there'll be more information there. But they do a good job explaining, why esports is going to help Battle for Giostone, be successful. And it lays out the problem, as we've seen with GameFi in the past, where we've got, people on YouTube and Twitter influencers talking about, making, 2,000 APY or APR. And it's just like people pour in and then they get dumped on, and then the game, just the tokens, the death spiral to 0. Everyone gets mad, calls the game a Ponzi. The game wasn't fun. It was a DeFi clone to begin with. And there wasn't really any true game enthusiasts or many game enthusiasts to be a part of those projects. They were just people that were trying to make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible. And then once it started failing, it was just, FUD the project to death, and move on to find the next one. Where Battle for Giostone, and I think these next iterations of games will separate themselves from that, as they give you that, that staircase, as they say in here, for success, where you start off at, a lower level by yourself, kind of feeling out the game, enjoy it. If you enjoy it, then you continue to practice, get better, and then you kind of search out those, other players that kind of are feeling the same way as you, get involved, from the lowest level up to the highest level, form a team, and get involved with the esports community on various forums, and start talking to people, and then sign up for a tournament and give it a shot. I mean, a lot of them are kind of lower entry fees all the way up to higher entry fees, so there's entry levels for everybody. And while you're doing that, you're also earning a little bit on the side through your daily play or your staking. It's not going to be life changing, which I think is important to highlight. At the lower to mid levels, you're probably not making much at all. But the real objective of the game is to have fun, and build a community and just enjoy it. Earning a little bit on the side is better than you can ask for with almost any Web2 game. And instead of paying for skins and never being able to do anything with them, at least now you have the option to find those skins, sell those skins. You can buy them from other players if you want to. But it just kind of creates it's your decision on what you want to do. So I like that aspect where you're not just stuck in the Web2 mindset where it's like, oh, I need to buy, battle points so I can buy a pass, so I can get the next skin or the next weapon or the next unlock. That's then just stuck in my account forever, and then the next game is released, and then you have to start all over again. With this, you can at least, it's yours. You can buy, sell, trade, whatever you want to do with anybody at any time. And then, as you work your way up to the esports level, then you can have even more chance to make a substantial amount of money, and have fun playing the game, and see where it takes you. But at the end of the day, as long as you're having fun, that's the ultimate goal. And I think that the team here does a great job in making sure that that's the main focus, but then providing you that path to get there. And it goes beyond that too. And I think they mentioned here with Twitch, it continues to grow year over year as more people get involved in kind of just watching streams and watching gamers, and see how they play, and see how other people can learn from them. That growth has just been phenomenal over the past couple of years. And I think especially when new games start coming out and people are trying to figure out the meta and how to play, it just helps the game grow so much. I mean, you can go on Twitch now and see almost anything streaming, and learn a whole bunch that you never would have got from just playing the game on your own, or watching a YouTube video that's been recorded 6 years ago, to try to figure out the best strategy. This gives you the chance to see real time what's happening in the space, and really understand it, and also interact with other people that like the game, and and the influencers and the professionals as well, because you can chat with them real time, and it helps build a friendly community that just is all driving forward. So that's one of the things I really love about Twitch and YouTube, and even now that TikTok has started streaming some of these games. interaction with the team, the players, the community. It just helps build everything, and that's the best part of it. And then one other thing the team released earlier this week, they released kind of their Battle for Giostone esports infrastructure, which we'll throw down in the description. But they did say that they're going to open it up to building custom maps and custom everything from shrines to towers. If there's an organization or community that wants to host tournaments on their own, they're willing to do that as well. Kind of place ads, custom skins, pretty much anything you can think of. They're willing to incorporate into a specific tournament that's for an event. So that just opens the door for so many more different activities. You could take this map and make it pretty much whatever you want it to, depending on what the theme of the tournament was or who's running the event. And I think that's just one other way to get all of this in front of like hundreds, thousands, millions of people as they're playing this event and being streamed real time. You're going to have those logos or those ads just kind of baked into the map. That changes at every event, so it keeps everything fresh and keeps it going. And the team being able to be that flexible to make those shifts, I think it is important realization on how to keep monetizing the game, not only for their own gain, but it helps as we've talked about in part 2 of how the ecosystem works. A lot of the sustainability comes from the dollars that are spent on sponsorship and esports and everything else coming back into the ecosystem that are then turned back into the token and pushed out as rewards. So that's not the only way it's sustainable, because there is a long runway where the team has enough in the pool to do so, and we talked about that. But this is just a way that it can continue to build and make sure that it is sustainable over time. So as the game grows, there will just be a very long runway that's not subject to this death spiral that we've seen, where there's a cap and there's no extra money coming in unless you find new players. The players don't have to come in as long as the game's being played and there's tournaments being run, and there's money coming in. Therefore, it continues the cycle. So I think that's an interesting way that the team has worked to kind of create a backstop to make sure that there is additional funding pushed back into the reward stream. And that really wraps it up for our 4-part series on Battle for Giostone. And I appreciate all the viewers that kind of listened to these over the last couple of weeks. And there's been a lot of AMAs and a lot of mediums that you can read on both the Avalanche channel as well as on the Battle for Giostone Discord or their Twitter. So make sure you hop on over there and keep up to date with the latest. There'll be some more announcements coming here shortly on the future roadmap, the future tournaments, the IDO, when the Trader Joe pool is going to open, and then there'll be more detail kind of, I think early October is what they're shooting for, to have some sort of a tournament structure announcement. So stay tuned for that as well. And I can't wait to mint my first couple heroes and give it a shot. I for sure am going to throw it up on my Twitch as well, I think, and stream a couple matches at least on the first couple of days, and as I can, as kind of work and time allows, because I love the MOBA genre. So if you can, give me a follow over there as well at Twitch. I think at Trading Aloha is my handle there. You can just search for me and find me. Also, you can follow me over on Twitter at Trading Aloha, and please, if you can, give this a like to help the YouTube algorithm out a little bit, so we can keep pushing Web3 gaming content out to you as it pops up. I think we're primed for an excellent next quarter and into the first half of next year. It looks really good, and I'm really excited to see where the Battle for Giostone team takes us. So thanks again, and I hope you all have a great time.